The future is here. What if I told you that your next best hire as you look to build and grow your team doesn't need health insurance, they don't need a pay raise every year, they never sleep, and they could 10x your cash flow, your deal flow, your productivity? Well, I'm talking about none other than AI agents. And if you are not thinking about how to leverage and utilize AI in your business, let alone in your personal life, then you are missing a significant opportunity to gain an edge. And most importantly, you're going to need to know and master this to sustain where you're at, let alone grow going into the future, because all of the smart business owners, investors I know are already leveraging AI agents in their business. And we're going to talk about how you can do that today in your own investments, in your own business, your own portfolio, how you're building wealth. Let's dive in. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, Matty A, and we are here to talk about how to build wealth as a real estate investor. So one of the biggest things that we all know is here, it's getting louder and louder, is the importance of leveraging, of understanding AI. And as you know, I'm a big believer in paying attention to what the big boys, the big girls, the big movers, the early movers are doing, because that ultimately is foreshadowing where things are going and what you may need to think about keeping up with, not only to just compete, but to survive and thrive. And one of the ways that many people are leveraging artificial intelligence in their business right now is through AI agents. Recently, ChatGPT just came out with a great new tool that you can leverage AI agents within their platform. There's a lot of different ways that you can build it out, but let's just start by talking about what is an AI agent. Well, an AI agent is a digital assistant trained, or a digital employee, right? Simply put, trained to think, to work, and to execute and act like a high-performing team member. So executing tasks, making decisions, analyzing data, and even communicating in real time, and consistently finding ways to improve and iterate as they get more feedback within this framework. Now, the difference from ChatGPT, unlike a one-off prompt that many of you are probably used to putting into ChatGPT, AI agents are persistent, they're memory-based, they're role-specific, and they can handle workflows and tasks on autopilot. So again, think of this as an individual in your org chart or a very specific employee role that you know exactly what they do, the qualities and characteristics of how they should think and act, the outcomes that you want these individuals driving towards, the tasks that are going to be tied into that, but being able to automate and put this on autopilot. Think of it as, for the context of real estate, your underwriter, your researcher, your analyst, or your acquisitions manager on steroids. And I'm going to give you an example of how I'm building this and using this in my own business, and how I'm really thinking about building and planning to create an entire org chart of AI agents inside of my commercial real estate business. So AI agents can assist you with a lot of different things. I'll just use a couple examples that may be relatable to you in your own real estate investing business. Acquisitions, right? Going through and filtering through leads, actually doing cold outreach, doing on-market and off-market deal evaluation, comp analysis, diving into rent rolls, financial modeling and pro formas and spreadsheets. From the deal analysis perspective, automating that underwriting process and pipeline, doing sensitivity analyses on your cash-on-cash returns or IRRs or debt service coverage ratios. The list goes on and on. You can have them highlight red flags or green flags, capture upside, think about mitigating risk. From an asset management perspective on your existing portfolio, monitoring property performance, tracking KPIs, creating monthly dashboards or reports for you. If you're in retail, CAM reconciliations, going through and underwriting and analyzing leases. Investor relations. Maybe you've got a bunch of investors that you have pulled together in a syndication or that invest with you. Going about creating investor decks, automating reports and summaries, managing updates and communication workflows to your investors. Whether it's in an operational capacity, automating follow-ups with brokers or vendors, project management, scheduling, SOP execution, CRM and email integration. If you can think it and you're doing it on a computer that doesn't require a physical human element to it, you can create an AI agent for it. It's like cloning yourself, but smarter in one specific job, and it's fully scalable. So the question that many people often have is, and again, I only covered a few of the things that any role that you can think about, any task that you can think about doing that has technology, a computer, online tied to it, you can create an AI agent or employee for that specific need or role. So how to build one is really the question. That took me some time to wrap my head around, well, how do I do this? This sounds great. I'd love to build an army of employees for me that don't cost me money, don't complain, don't sleep, consistently do what I need them to do over and over and over again, no matter how many times I ask it. And as I started to dive in, I'm just going to give you kind of a quick step-by-step in layman's terms, because that's what I needed it for. The first place that you want to start is choose the role. So define the function, right? Are they going to be a deal analyst for you? Are they going to be a lead generator for you? Are they going to be an asset manager? Are they going to be a lease specialist? Are they going to be a CRM and database manager, right? There's so many different roles. Pick what you want that role to be and start small and precise. Then 2, we need to now train this AI agent based on what the role requires. So we need to feed it data, whether that is, past deals, past, experiences, underwriting logic, theory, ideas, certain decision frameworks that you use. We need to give it kind of the guardrails, the bumpers to the bowling alley, and we need to train it. And therefore, by giving it more data, and we can find ways to consistently feed it data, right? It's going to find ways to get bigger, better, faster, more efficient, stronger, the more data that goes into that feedback loop. But most importantly, we got to give it some kind of foundational framework that can be used as the guardrails as that initial training. Then 3, we need to give it the tools that it's going to need needing to use in order to operate within its role. Just like you would give an employee the right tools and resources and training and relationship they need to go and succeed in their role, we need to do the same thing with the AI agent. So whether that's integrating it with Google Sheets or your CRM or your database or other tools and resources that are needed and necessary for this, right? We need to know what those are, and we need to be able to give it to it and connect to it. The 4th thing is, of course, like I just said, create those feedback loops. Let it learn your preferences and evolve over time. So the beauty is you don't need to be a coder. With technology, specifically AI, ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, you name it, and there's a lot of other very specific, coding AI tools out there that make it so simple and easy for anybody, whether you have experience in it or not, to actually do this, right? You do need to put in some of that upfront work to be clear on the outcome and the workflow. So tools like ChatGPT, Agent Code, LangChain, they make it more accessible than ever. So check those out. Now, I just want to give you a little real life example of what I've been working. And I'm going to be doing a full-blown training on this, on AI agents, at our Napa Mastermind event here in September. But this is just a little teaser to give you an idea of how I'm implementing this. So I created this as my AI agent is named IRR Hunter, Internal Rate of Return Hunter. That's what I named him. And his purpose is to be a digital commercial real estate underwriter to hunt deals with positive arbitrage and high IRR and cash on cash returns. Now, its personality I'm giving it is it's an institutional grade analyst that has experience analyzing complex deals as well as simple deals, but it explains it in plain English. The inputs that it's going to need are going to be rent rolls and T12s and purchase price and CapEx, right? And I've got all the details of the inputs that when I'm analyzing a deal, whether I like it or not, right? These are the things and the information I need. So those are my inputs. Now the outputs, once I get that information and I do my analysis, I'm going to be able to create an executive summary, return projections, IRR, cash on cash, equity multiple, things like that. I'm going to be able to identify maybe some of the negotiating points, some of the due diligence questions and things that I'm going to need to work through. Where are the opportunities that I can arbitrage, and whether or not I want to pass on the deal or I want to pursue it. So think of it for me, right? I'm going, I want to create something that's like having a Blackstone or a BlackRock or a big hedge fund type analyst that has those kind of skills and expertise in my pocket. Only I don't have to pay that person at that level, and it's going to work 24/7, 365. They're not going to be asking me for equity. They're not going to be asking me for pay raises. They're not going to be complaining to me. And that was the whole purpose behind this. Now, of course, this is going to take some time, some iterations, but think about this. This is a $150,000 a year role that I'm literally able to create with, a couple dozen hours put into it, yes, but the ROI that I'm going to get on that and build on going forward could be priceless. When you think about the amount of money, zero, outside of my time that is put into this. And so the ability to have these in your team, these AI agents on your team, the speed, in this particular case, this can underwrite 10, 20, 30 deals in a day versus the one that maybe I manually could get through, right? The clarity that it's going to allow me to remove the emotional decision-making and just see, based on this framework, what the AI is able to create clarity around. The confidence, right, of being able to know that this individual AI agent is going to, flag the downside, that's going to capture the opportunities and the upside. To do this at scale, the efficiency and the velocity of the decision-making now that I can make becomes extremely advantageous, right? Automate 80% of the busy work so I can focus on the 20%. That's where you really gain an edge. That's where you're really able to move the needle forward. And the investors or the business owners who win over the next decade aren't going to be the biggest and have the most employees anymore. That time is coming to a close and it's shifting. It's going to be the ones who are working the smartest, who are working the most efficient, who are leveraging the tools and the landscape and playing the rules of the industry that they're trying to win in. And right now, AI is completely changing the rules of the game in a lot of different industries, and those that are leveraging this edge are going to be the ones who win in the big run, in the long run. So, according to McKinsey and a recent study they just did, AI adoption can increase productivity in real estate companies by up to 40% over the next 5 years. So you better believe that I want to be one of those 40%, benefiting from it. And I just believe that this is the future of real estate. Investors and business owners who don't use AI are going to get left behind. Deals are going to be won and lost based on who finds them, who is able to underwrite them faster, make decisions faster, negotiate faster and smarter, right? And AI is going to be a tool that allows you to do that. AI is the new leverage. Yes, people are leverage, and I will go to my grave and say that nobody's ever going to ultimately replace human beings, but there will be very specific roles and needs within businesses, within industries that 100% will replace humans because we don't need them for those particular things. But if you can have a team of equipped, AI-friendly and confident individuals who are leveraging artificial intelligence and things like this and pairing those two together, it's a 1 + 1 = 10. AI is the new leverage. It's going to be cheaper. It's only going to get more scalable. It's only going to get more efficient. And these are things that can massively change the way business is done. Just like spreadsheets changed the real estate industry in the 90s, or the computer did when people were going out of phone books and, using paper. And now all of a sudden everything's online, right? To now the ability with a lot of tech and access to data to be able to invest in markets all around the country instead of just hyper local. This is just another iteration, and AI agents will define the next decade of real estate investing. Mark my words. So I just figured I would share this with you. It's something that we're heavily focused on, that we're going to be testing, tweaking, iterating. I'm curious, how are you using AI in your business? How are you finding an edge in capturing the alpha that you see out there and available by leveraging AI? The more we can talk about it, collaborate on it, discuss it, the better. Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode.